All right, so um, before we dive into the main part of today, I want to just kind of again set up the story to remind you of the purpose behind our 2 week series on Israel, what the Bible says about Israel. We're doing this because it's a hot topic, and we are receiving questions pretty regularly about this topic. So we wanted to clarify our view as much as we possibly could in just 2 weeks, the 2 weeks that we have. So, congratulations if you're unaware that this is a hot topic, right? Because you've been able to steer clear of it somehow on social media and in church circles. But sadly, it's become a dividing line in the church for many people. The main divide usually centers on whether or not the church replaces, takes the place of Israel. And then it also has something to do with the physical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Israel. It sometimes has to do with whether or not the covenant promises of land still exist and whether or not the church is obligated to bless Abraham based on the covenant promises of Genesis 12, 1 through 3, and Genesis 27, 29, and even Numbers 24, right? And if we are to bless them, then what does that look like? And so these questions aren't answered simply by quoting a few New Testament passages, as some might argue. Instead, we find the answers to these questions within the story of the Bible, right? That's where we started last week. We started with the story of the Bible in the Old Testament. Again, I'll review some of that in just a few minutes, but you can't just pluck a few verses out and answer these questions because the Bible is a story. How many of you know the Bible is a story? It's meant to be understood left to right. If you think you start at Matthew and understand it, you can't. You'll catch pieces, but you won't understand the whole story. The entire thing is connected, all right? And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to move into what the Bible says, meaning the New Testament about Israel, but we need to cover first week 1 so that I can catch you up a little bit. So here's how I began the series last week. Has God rejected his people?